Okay, here's a challenge. Call any law firm at 9 in the evening and I guarantee you each of them will give you a voicemail. Now imagine this. Imagine your law firm was the only one who picks up the phone, answered them professionally, capturing their information, and eventually also setting them up for a consultation. Well, you were asleep, doing some sports, at the cinema or whatsoever. In this video, I will show you exactly how you can build this for yourself or maybe for your clients. So yeah, let's dive in. All right, I'm getting calls right now. And I will start first with asking some questions and then eventually setting a appointment up.
Welcome to Goal Line Legal. I'm the referee, your AI assistant. What's your play today?
Yeah, so I'm a soccer player, football player, and I got some questions about the UEFA and FIFA. Can you all help me about that?
We do have experience representing clients in disputes involving UEFA and FIFA, including disciplinary hearings and arbitration. If you have specific questions, feel free to ask. Would you like to schedule a consultation to discuss your situation in detail? I can connect you with someone who handles appointments.
Yeah, what are also the four core values of your law firm?
Great question. Our four core values are tenacity, precision, integrity, and client centricity. We never back down from a challenge, pay close attention to detail, uphold the highest ethical standards, and always put our clients first. Would you like to schedule a consultation to discuss your specific situation? I can connect you with someone who handles appointments.
Yeah, please. So, yeah.
Perfect. What day works best for you to schedule your consultation?
Yeah, can we do upcoming Thursday at 5 in the afternoon?
You're all set for a consultation this Thursday at 5 p.m. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's it. Thank you. That's it. You can see I just received also an email with the date and also the time. So this was perfect. Yeah, so let's dive in the workflow. We are using Voiceflow. Voiceflow is a chatbot builder and also a voice agent builder. If you are new with Voiceflow, there's a link in the description and you can sign up. So once you are inside Voiceflow, you have to create a project and then you can see how I've built this and you can just follow my steps. So initially, once you've created your project, you can delete anything what's already in there. Sometimes you have already the standard template, so you can delete that. So first you can start with a message block, which you can find in the talk steps. And then you can type whatever you want over here, and the AI agent will exactly follow your like text which I've put it in here. And then you have to save their entire reply as last utterance. And the last utterance, you can do that in going to the listen step, capturing, and then change from entities to entire user reply, and then keep it like that. So you can also select a variable, you can create a variable. In this case, the default variable is last utterance. Very simple. Once you have done that, your first block was created, and then we are going to continue on the agent step. So on the first step over here, you can see agent. You have to drag it over here, and then once you have dragged, you have to create a agent. So it's important. In my case, I called my first agent the referee, and this one is going to delegate one of the last utterance, whatever the user asked here, is going to delegate to one of them. So we have three agents here. One agent is for creating a appointment, and it's going to it's for intakes. So it's going to intake a new case study. Or I mean a new case, sorry. And it's also going to schedule a meeting, what we just did. So if they immediately from the beginning mentioning like, hey, I want to schedule or I have a new case, it will go to this pot. You can see here in the referee agent, we have three exit pots. And basically this one is going to analyze whatever the last utterance was, and it is going to delegate it to one of the three agents. And if I click on the pot, you can see a LLM description for each. So the agent step also knows exactly when to trigger, if they, for example, mentioning like they want an appointment, or for example here, I want to start a new case, or how do I become a client. It will go to that path. We started first with this agent step, the archivist, because we have some questions. So this agent will answer some questions based on what we have in a knowledge base. So I've created like 3 PDFs with some information in it. So this is one of the PDFs. And yeah, so I've imported those PDFs inside the knowledge base, and the agent was using them as reference. So in Voiceflow, you can import your knowledge base. It can be like website URLs, and the information on that URL will be used as knowledge base. You can also add like in bulk URLs. So if your website has like hundreds of pages, you can, with the sitemap way, this way you can import them all at once. And you can also upload a file or plain text. You can just type out some information. So in this case, we went to the archivist in the beginning because we had some questions, and we have here a KB search block. So if you go to dev, to KB search, you can drag it, and then the question is a loss utterance, of course. It's still saved in this variable, and then you have to create a variable named chunks. And those chunks will be like pieces of the knowledge base with the relevant information to your question. So we have an AI which is going to find relevant information in the knowledge base, and basically the KB search is going to give us some blocks with information, and those blocks information the agent step can use. So maybe I can try it out. So run. So what are the core values? So we are now going to preview the KB search block, and voila, we are getting 3 chunks with information in it, and we are going to save all that information in one variable named chunks. So you have to create a variable. So that's basically what this KB search is going to do. It's going to get a question, we are going to search in a knowledge base like relevant information, and then that information we are going to pass to the archivist agent, and eventually you see also the variable chunks. And in reality, like this variable is like super long with a lot of information, and this agent is going to use that information. And then also in the end it will ask like, hey, would you like to schedule a consultation to discuss your specific situation? And if they say yes, you can see here we have the schedule path, which is going first to the get current time, and then we are going to the agent step. I'm going to explain why we have this get current time. But besides that path, we have 2 more paths. So if they want to talk to a real human, we are going to this agent step, which is going to handle that. So it's going to save their information, and it's going to save it in the database and also send an email to the correct person. This is all fictional, but you can imagine like with a real project, you can send it forward it to the correct person, to the maybe customer service, I don't know. You can send it to them, and the next day, for example, they can handle this inquiry. Yeah, so if they are a bit unsure what they want or whatsoever, we will go back to the referee agent, and this one is going to delegate it to one of these 3 agents. So the next agent will be the coach, but before that we have the get current time. So we have this agent which can go to this agent step, and this one as well. And what we are going to do is we have this JavaScript, and it will give us basically the current time. So you have to fill in here the input. So in your case, your time zone. In my case, it was my time zone in the IANA time zone formatting. So in my case, I typed in Europe, Amsterdam, but if you are living in New York, for example, you have to type it, as you can see here in the description. So America/New York, underline York. I mean new underline New York. And then you have to create like 3 variables on this side. and I just named them similar as these variables. And what it is going to do is it will give us the current date and also the day of the week and time zone. So let's run it so you can see how it works. So for example, my time zone is Europe, Amsterdam. I will run it. And voila, it gave us the current date is 2025. You can see the day of the week is Monday, etc. So why do we have the get current time here? We will get eventually the current date in this variable, and this agent is going to schedule it in our calendar, of course. So it must know what day it is today, so it understands like what tomorrow is. So if they say like tomorrow, it knows today is 23, tomorrow is 24th of June. If they say next week, it knows it as well, what date it is then. So that's actually why it's to reference like what date they actually mean, and not very vaguely like in 2 weeks at Wednesday. In this way, it knows like, okay, so right now this date in 2 weeks means plus 14 days. Okay, let's go inside this agent step. It's quite similar as the two other ones, but the only difference is we have two functions, two tools. So again, we have here the general instructions, and this one we are saying like, hey, you have two main jobs. You have to like new client intakes and like schedule a consultation, one of those two. And it has here two API tools, and we are connecting it with make.com. Again, make.com is also in the description. There's a link to make.com. And basically, we have an API call to make.com, and inside make.com, we are adding the information in the database. In this case, it was Google Sheet, and also send an email forward, like you have seen here. So yeah, you can create your API tool. You have to create input variables, and then in the body, name those variables and name those keys and give it the variables for those keys, and also your webhook URL, and select which method. In this case, we are going to send information, so you have to select post here, and then we have the LLM description. So like an extra description, like what this tool is going to do and when to use it. And we have here the three input variables. So for two of them, we have no default variable, so it should ask them, like those two. And the phone number, we have a default variable. I've already included here the variable. Since we are going to call the user, or the user is going to call them, the user ID is always their phone number. So we don't need to ask like their phone number, because we already have it inside this variable user ID. This is also one of the default variables Voiceflow gives you once you create a project. Okay. So yeah, the description, it knows which tool to use for which call. So if it's like the first, for example, this job, the new client intake, it knows because of this description which of those API tools it needs to use. And then we have again here three paths. So one is the escalate to human path, the return to referee, and conversation complete. So if we are saying like, hey, if we confirm like, hey, I don't have any other questions, it will then end the flow using this path. So it will automatically trigger this path, and then it will end the flow. Maybe to make it a bit nicer, because in a moment, like just now, it's immediately hang up the phone without saying bye. I can add like here an extra message block, like, hey, thank you for everything, see you the next time, bye. We can do that optionally to make it sound a bit nicer. And then we have here the dispatcher, which is going to handle human handoffs, and it's basically going to save their information. So we have here again a API tool. We are going to ask their full name, and we have here as user ID their phone number, and we are going to save that in the database, and we'll send an email to the right colleague. Yeah, mainly that. And then we have also make.com scenarios. So we have 3. For example, this one is what we just had triggered. To connect it to make.com, you have to create a webhook. So this is a webhook. And it's very simple. Once you create a new scenario inside make.com, you will see webhooks. You can click on that and then custom webhook, not a mail hook, custom webhook. And then you have to save it, and eventually it will give you a URL. So let's, for example, create a test webhook for your understanding. Voila, we got a webhook URL, and you can copy that and give it to Voiceflow. So I can show it to you. Once you got that webhook URL, you have to go to the, for example, the API tool, or inside your agents tab, you have the tool. You have one of those tools. You can click on the plus, and it will say API call. Click on that, create API call, and then the input variables and the URL. So the request URL, the endpoint. I will not create a new tool. Yeah. So in this case, we have this API tool. Let's run this one for your image. And let's go to the correct scenario inside make.com so you can see it running. This one. By the way, all the templates, so the chatbot inside Voiceflow and the 3 scenarios here in make.com, I'm going to give it away inside the description. So you will get like files you can download and immediately import them inside your Voiceflow account or inside the make.com account. In a moment, I will also show you how you can import them. But here, let's have it running. So at the moment, nothing is happening. And let me fill in some information. I will say Abdullah. My phone is. A legal issue is questions. Just for your understanding. The agent is going to ask like, hey, what is your challenge? What are the problems you are having currently? And it will fill in this variable. It will make a summary of that. So let's run it. And you can see it's right now running. I'm also getting an email. Yeah, just got an email, new intake. Abdullah, phone number, questions. So it basically added the information here in the Google Sheet, and also sent me an email, which you can see over here. The email is in HTML, so that's why it's in this formatting. I'm also going to give those HTML formatting away. So it's again also in the description you will find a link, and over there you can find all the templates. But yeah. You can see it here over here, how to set up the Google Sheet first. Those variables we are getting from this webhook, from Voiceflow chatbot, and then we directly putting it inside the correct spreadsheet, the sheet name, and then you will see like the headers. The headers are full name, phone, and legal challenge summary. And once you have done that, you can save it, and in the email, make sure like the email to the correct colleague is over here. You have to type that manually out or paste it manually, and then you can give it a title. You can, for example, if I selected this variable, then it will not only say new intake, it will say new intake Abdullah. Let's go back, and then over here in the HTML format, and like I said, that's why we have it in this nice formatting. Without the HTML, I mean, you will still understand it, but this is a bit nicer to read. Okay. So that's how you basically can build it. This is a multi-agent workflow where like multiple agents are working together. We have one function, the KB search, and the 3 agents which are connected also with make.com or with the knowledge base. This one is basically also the same. We have a tool here which is connected to make.com, and inside make.com you can do the same thing basically. We have like 3 simple scenarios. but you can make this also a bit more advanced. Make.com has a lot of apps, so you can use those as well. So yeah, that's basically how you can build this agent. So yeah, thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, if you want to work together. See you soon and have a nice day.